Yeah, of course you
Yeah, that'd be really good. Welcome everybody to Panfish Nation. I'm Lyle. Mark is not with us tonight. He had a family emergency at his house. Keep his family members in your thoughts and prayers. But I am joined by the one and only James Dockery. Good evening, James.
will. Evening, everybody.
How we
Say,
doing?
sorry, we're doing pretty good. Sorry we're late. Lyle was stuck in food porn before we,
Well,
started going live.
then he comes in with a bowl or a saucer with a piece of pineapple upside down cake. I got to stop and look at it before I go live.
Well,
Eat none
that
of
you actually have to show it. So,
I didn't eat any of it, but after the show, I'll be getting my fair share.
well, I'm
And,
sure you will.
and
Hey,
your share.
and I know Mark, Mark's having some issues and stuff like that, but maybe this will make him laugh or mad or whatever. I've still got this right here. So, and he's not here to defend himself. So maybe he's watching.
We haven't seen that in a while. So that's pretty ornery. But you know what? It's okay. He would not, well, he would do it to you.
Yeah, he would do it to me.
He
so.
would. Let me run through some people we got in chat right quick, James.
Alrighty.
Mike Sampson, Cat Life Outdoors, Mike Irwin, Tackle Box Mike, Creole, our buddy. Let's see, Catmandu Outdoors, Jerry Parker, Dan Thompson, longtime member of Catfish Weekly, Eduardo Ramirez, Brian B. Man, there's a stonefly has made it in here. Lance McCouguy, Kentucky Redneck Outdoors. We're going down through here. There's Van.
Parker Pursuits. Fishing Freedom. Mike Sampson. Richard Ward with Matt Catter Outdoor. I'm just trying to speed this up because your age is catching up with you and you're kind of slow. The Weekend Angler.
I thought it would be different with you.
No, it's never this. Hi, my name is James. We met. See, Mike Sampson. Outdoors.
922 Crappie Barbecue. Dale Hayslip. Fishing with the Cause. Hey, Brenda. James, I got a tournament coming up at the end of the month against Van and some other people, but Van thinks he's going to win.
Well, why not? You think you're going to win?
I do. Real gals. Hi, Stephanie. How you doing? We've had some fun with that already, and it ain't even close. But I got to tell you, may have to forfeit if it don't get off this 100-degree crap. Wowzer!
That is no kidding. It is way too hot for your
yeah
to be out in the
You're
heat.
right. Fishing and freedom. Hey, Richard, how you doing? Kim Burnett. Look, hey, that's a pretty good looking jig you got there. I kind of like that. Hey, Matt, how you doing? Want to be outdoors? Richard Ward, Mad Catter TV, or Catfishing. There's Josh, the Weekend Angler. He said, I misunderstood Lyle. I thought he said tonight would be a really short show. He was talking about the guest. I did not say anything about that, James. Just
it's a pretty good thing that that Josh is really good at editing videos and making those little memes and stuff like that, because I really haven't seen him catch a lot of fish here lately. So at least he has something to fall back on when his whole YouTube career is over with.
Oh, man. Jeff Barker, welcome. I think we said Mike Sampson. I think that Josh has a really good deal with the Saturday short tip Saturdays.
Yes.
I don't know where he come up with the short stuff, but that's between you and him.
Well,
Graham, welcome.
This is true. But, I mean, what do you expect? It's Josh.
It is. And I tell you, the thing about Josh that I don't understand is he has a wife that loves to go fishing. She wants to go catch panfish, bluegills, and such. And he won't take her. I don't understand that.
It's hard telling with him.
You take Katie if she want to go.
Oh, yeah, anytime. And every time Katie's like, hey, let's go fishing somewhere. Let's go fishing somewhere, and we load up and go.
That's exactly right. The question of the day for me is, what type of rig do you use the majority of the time when you are catching these small fish, and or do you have more than one that you use?
I actually use a lot of different rigs and stuff like that, depending on where I'm fishing, what I'm fishing for. And it all, that's just it. I mean, so far this year, I fished 113 days, and I fished probably over 50 different places. So I'm constantly changing out rigs and stuff. Some places that I fish, they really only like tube jigs. Sometimes it's hair jigs. Sometimes it's, you have to roll them really, really slow. Sometimes they want them fast and on top of the water. It kind of all just depends. I mean, and that's the thing about challenging yourself to different bodies of water and stuff like that, is you never actually know what rig you're going to need, what lure you're going to need, what color, all this stuff. So, we're constantly on the go, moving around and stuff like that. So once I figure out a pattern to them, I'll start heavy. I'll usually use probably a 1/8 ounce jig with a plastic body, and I'll cast that for 15, 20 minutes. If I don't get anything there, I'll go back and to a smaller, different color, and then if that doesn't work, smaller, different color, until I actually get on them. Like right now, everything is so deep in the water. We're talking 20, 22 feet deep around here, on the lake that I was fishing at today, and they wanted it just as almost to a dead stop, but still moving. So it was very painfully, slowly reeling it in and stuff like that. But I was able to get on 9 of them today, but none of them were really spectacular or anything. But I at least caught fish.
That's exactly right. And let's face it, that's why you go, isn't it?
That and to get away from Katie for a while.
Yeah, but she's there.
Well, I know, but I mean, I can get out of my own head and just totally ignore her. Trust me, she tells people I don't listen to her all the time anyway. So
the $64,000 question is, I know that she does a lot of reading when you're fishing.
Yes,
and
sir.
Sometimes she goes down to the dock with you, but a lot of times she sits there in the car.
Yep.
Now, when she's sitting in the car, is it running with the air conditioner going?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely, yeah. I couldn't imagine
there's no reason to make her suffer and stuff like that. So
no, she's good enough to let you fish all the time.
Oh, yeah.
At least buy her some gas.
Well, that, and I have to buy her dinner every once in a while too. But
at Cheddar's?
No, not at Cheddar's. You guys can give that up. That's not happening, folks.
Mike Costello has made it in. But she likes Cheddar's.
Yeah, she does. And Josh, I throw it out there. And today I was letting these jigs fall. Like a 1/32 ounce is what I was using today. I'll let it fall for 20, 30 seconds until that line completely slacks up. I know that it is flat on the bottom. And crappie are about like a bass. I mean, they're going to want to hit a disabled bait or something like that. So what they're going to do is they're going to hit that on the way down. You just have to learn to watch that line close enough to where if the slightest little bit of a bump on that line. Sorry, Katie.
What do you do?
She's mad about something. Who knows?
Oh.
But the slightest little bump on that line or something like that, you're going to have to reel in and set that hook. So,
welcome, Patriot James. Glad to have you in chat tonight. Fishing with the squirrel, fields to water. Hey, you doing, buddy? I agree, and I think water depth and how far off of the bottom or far from the top has a world to do with catching panfish. And
yes.
With that being said, my favorite rig to use is a drop shot rig. And with a drop shot rig, all you have to do to make it closer to the bottom is shorten your line and move your weight up. If you're too close to the bottom, you slide your jig up or whatever you're using for bait, and take it further away from there. You can take it clear to the top. You can take it closer to the bottom, and anything in between. And it's very universal. You can put more than one jig on it. There's just tons of different ways to fish a drop shot rig. The other way I like to do is a flip float. Um, Again, you can have it close to the top or close to the bottom or anything in between, and you've got your cork to tell you when you get a bite. If they're especially works really nice for light biting fish, and but right now with the crappie and the bluegill off the nest, there shouldn't be too much light biting. They should be slam dunking them.
Well, you would think that, but today, they were. I mean, they were short biting it for one, where they'd just come up and they'd actually bite the tail of the jig I was using. So I missed quite a few that way. But the other ones, when they actually made that connection with that jig head, it was just like they grabbed it and stopped. So they would have that rod load up, and once the rod loads up, I mean, if you keep pressure on them and they don't spit the hook out, then you're pretty much guaranteed to have them. But I had one today, made the classic mistake. I didn't check my line, after so long, and got him all the way up onto the dock and went to thumb him, and he spit the hook in the whole 9 yards out and just flopped right back in the water. And it was just like, okay, that's not right. So
a quick release.
Yeah. Shouldn't you be out catching sharks somewhere, Creo? I'm pretty sure you should.
He's been on a roll here with exotic stuff happening when he goes fishing lately.
Well, you're not kidding. But it's actually pretty cool. I mean, I was watching the live stream when he caught that first bull shark. Yeah, and I thought, man, that's, that guy would have actually come home with me. So,
yeah, but you'd have put it in a fish tank or out in Katie's hot tub.
I would have put it in the hot tub.
Yeah.
I would have. Which, by the way, the hot tub has no bait in it right now. There was a spawning accident, I'm going to call it, and a gray tree frog, a couple of them, spawned down in there. So now we have 1 million tadpoles running around this hot tub, and I was threatened within an inch of my life by Jolene that if I touched her tadpoles, she was not going to be happy with me. So now we're raising tadpoles.
See, awesome. What weight jig are you building there, James?
These are just some regular jigs. We a lot of you guys know that me and Katie do where we if we find kids out in the wild, so to speak, nowadays that are actually fishing, we give them a bag and stuff like that, and a rod and reel. And so far this year, we've gone through 50 of those. And wow. I used to post pictures and stuff like that. And then I got to thinking, you know what? I don't want to do this for any type of publicity or anything like that. And sometimes it made the parents kind of uncomfortable. So we just stopped. We stopped. If they let us get pictures, we get pictures just for personal use. But yeah, we gave away the last one today, and so I'm building jigs.
Do you need some to give away?
Oh, thanks to Jason Brummel Tackle. I think that's what isn't that who that is? Jason Brummel?
Yes.
I ordered 1,500 jig heads in various sizes and stuff like that. And the dude is fast at shipping and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. And, he's great.
Yeah, I've got my paints from him and all this other stuff. So I'll sit here and spend 3 or 4 evenings a night just tying up jigs and just to give away. So if you want to do it in your area. I mean, like I said,
I would help you out to help the kids out.
Oh, I realize that, and here's the thing: I've had people message me and say, hey, I love what you and Katie are doing. I can send you a little bit of money or this and that. Guys, I don't need money. I mean, I really and truly don't. Money's not going to. It'll cause a lot more problems than what it actually helps. So I encourage people: look, start that in your own area. Keep a small, bag of things that you use. your hooks, your weights, if you use a sinker slider, if you use crappie jigs, all this other things, throw in some bobbers and stuff like that. And you don't even actually have to give them a rod and reel unless you have an old one laying around that's still good and that you don't use anymore. But if you're keep that in your boat, I mean, or on the bank with you, and if you see a kid out there fishing and he's doing it, then go do it.
I've done that. Troy with Real and Virtual Outdoors wants to know, James, how can I donate to kids fishing programs?
Yeah, see, and that's just it. I mean, and there are actual programs out there that will collect money and stuff like that from people. And I honestly, I couldn't tell you any of the ones that are still out there or going. I know there are some out there. Between me and Katie teaching all the classes that we do for MDC and me fishing all the time and trying to do 500 other different things, I just really don't have a lot of time, to keep up with everything else going on.
What about contacting the Missouri Department of Conservation and getting that information
Actually,
from them?
If you, depending on which region you live in, you can contact your regional office for volunteer opportunities, and it can range from. And here's the thing about the whole volunteering with them: you only have to volunteer once a year. Okay, that's all you have to do to continue to be a volunteer for MDC. They do a background check on you. So I mean, keep that in mind. If you've got kind of a Josh past, that you may not be qualified or not. So how he is doing what he's doing now, I have no idea. But anyway, but yeah, I mean, and it's guys, I mean, it is so much fun. I mean, it really and truly is. I see a lot of these guys, and they want to be these YouTube superstars. Hey, great, wonderful, congratulations. You and 15,000 others have now, joined that community. But I would much rather spend my time helping out, somebody around here or, over in Hannibal, which is about 2.5 hour drive. But I don't want to be a YouTube star. All right. It's not going to pay my bills. I'm not going to quit my day job for it, all this other crap. So it is what it is.
The rest of us want you to be.
Yeah, that's not happening either. All right.
Well, you never know.
I'm not going live for 17 hours. I'm not going to sit there and beg.
You don't have to.
Send me
you can
products.
Just come online with me.
Yeah, but here's the thing. You do want to grow your YouTube channel.
To an extent. Right? I'm not interested
to an extent. And me, I give a rat's ass, guys. I mean, seriously, go on sub from James Dockery Fishing, because there ain't going to be anything on there except for stupid crap, unless I get extremely bored and, I need to talk to somebody and Kitty won't talk to me on the river. I might go live with him, but it's only going to be for an hour, maybe 2. But I'm not going live. I'm not putting, sponsors or these people that sell rod and reels for product and stuff like that. All right.
Does Katie just holler at you out through the window once in a while of the car and say, "Hey, are you still breathing?"
No. Actually, it depends on what we're fishing. If we're over on the river fishing, then she is right next to me. She's got a rod and reel in her hand, and she's enjoying it. If we're crappie fishing or bluegill fishing and stuff like that, and she's not out on the water with me, then yeah, she sometimes will sit there and read a book or study up on a class that we have coming up on or something like that. So,
Hey Dave, how you doing? For those of you that haven't checked out Double Hook Angling, please go check out his YouTube channel. He was building jigs today, and he got a great channel with a lot of quality content on it. Be sure to give him a like and subscribe. You'll be glad you did. Does a great job with all the stuff that he does. Josh says, speaking of YouTube, everyone needs to subscribe to James Dockery Fishing. I agree 100%.
No.
And if you don't know how to find it, it is below in the description. There's a link to James.
Here's the thing. Okay. Depending on what type of mood I'm in, and you guys know I can get pretty cranky, especially when it comes to YouTube and stuff like that. I've got a true friend. All right. I talk to this guy pretty much every single day. and we solve the world's problems, or we just are trying to light the both ends of the candle, just to light this damn thing off. One of these days, me and him are going to go live, and we will just destroy our YouTube career altogether.
I'm trying to promote that. I really am.
It will be fun.
Jody says, "Is that Dieter's dad up there on panel?"
No, not even close.
Chad says,
I don't have as much hot air as Dieter, so, and I don't idol worship myself.
James Dockery Fishing is the greatest YouTube star of all times. Hello, Mark. How you doing?
What's going on, fellas? Just walked in the door.
Oh, sure. Now he comes in.
I heard what I was driving. I was listening to both Chad and you guys while I was driving home, and I think I heard what I imagined to be the 25 counter at the beginning of the show.
You weren't here to defend yourself. I wouldn't do that crap to you.
People in chat, did he do that to me?
Yeah.
All right. Hey guys, I for this next jig, I need to step away, so I'm gonna turn this camera off. So hang on 1 second.
We'll be here.
What's going on, Lyle? How's everybody doing?
Everybody's good, Mark. Everything turned out good for you?
It did. There's my father's having a procedure done in the hospital, and it took forever because of added security issues at the hospital, being that it was only 10 miles away from Highland Park where that incident was over the weekend.
Right.
So and by the time they finished this procedure, visiting hours ended before he could see us, so they kicked us out. So I just got off the phone with him on the way back. He's awake and he's doing all right, and he's happy to be done with it, and we'll see him tomorrow. Good
deal. Glad to know all that. I told people that you had a family issue. I hear bait. He's catching bait.
Boy, I wish we could see what's going on back there.
All right, I'm gonna give you some photos, guys. Hang on. So, anyway, glad to see that your dad's doing well, Mark.
Thank you, James. I appreciate it.
Oh man!
So what do you call that jig?
It's just a feather jig, is all it is. It's one I like to tie up just for a little bit something different.
How many times do you use your own jigs when you're fishing, James?
Actually, quite a bit.
I know you're a really big believer in very small plastics.
Yes, but sometimes, and that's just it. Sometimes it doesn't matter what you throw out there. They're going to bite that jig, and sometimes they want something totally different. So.
Yeah, Wolf from Custom Rods, welcome to chat. Glad to see you in there. You need to get a hold of me one of these days. Love to get you on here. The guy does a lot of custom rod building, ice rods and catfish rods and all kinds of panfish type stuff. And he does really, really good work. I've seen a lot of his stuff over the years, and he does really good. I had a guy drop by here, guys, earlier this evening. In fact, I was eating dinner, and he had a custom rod that is his dad's, and it's sitting here in a plastic gun case. It's a 2-piece, like a walleye rod, and it was built by a custom builder in New Zealand on a CTS brand blank. And he's had it for roughly 10 years and took really good care of it. And the other day, somehow he shut it in a car door, and it's broken 3 or 4 pieces, just the top section.
I would never have done something like that.
This old guy's about my age. He's just heartbroken, and of course I don't have no idea what model it is, whether they even still break it or make that particular model of blank or not. But I'm going to get a hold of the people in New Zealand. I'll message them tomorrow and see if they got an idea if I can get a whole blank or a tip top for it. Shipping to New Zealand right now to have that a top built would be astronomical. I mean, shipping has got way out of line. So they wanted me to fix it for them if I can get a top for it. And if not, I'll probably just get a blank and build him another one. But this guy done really good work. It's got a lot of feather inlays and stuff on it. He done pretty nice stuff. But
Feather inlays. That sounds good. That sounds nice.
they are very nice. I do some of that. I've got some other trick stuff that I do that I don't talk about. I'll wait till people get them. But I told you, Mark, here a while back, my brother-in-law Tom had brought me 2 fly rod blanks that he bought at a yard sale. Okay. One of them had been started and the other one hadn't. And I'm going to show you how they turned out. This is the first one.
Cork, I love it.
This is the way that's how much of it was done when I got it. The cork grip, the butt, and the reel seat. And the rest of it I done.
I like that pattern.
That's kind of your color.
It is.
And of course, every guide is, I hope it comes out to where you guys can see it, is marbled similar like that, every one of them. They're not all the same. Marbling is not an exact science, but it turned out really nice. I like the red. And this is, in my mind, this is about a 5 or 6 weight. I think it's a 5 weight. Don't know. I got no paperwork or anything with it to test it. And the other one, it hadn't had anything done to it. And I sent a message to Kim Burnett here a while back, and I said, cork's kind of hard to get, and I'm running low on it. Does anybody use EVA foam or Hapalon or anything like that to do grips on fly rods? And he said, never seen anything like it. And since cork is so hard to come by for me right now, I went ahead and I started it. And
with the Hapalon, that looks good.
Yep. I shaped it the best I could. This stuff's really hard to shape compared to the other stuff. And then I put some marbling on it.
I love that blue.
And silver and blue. And, of course, each guide
Go back to the reel seat real quick. Go back to the reel seat for me. What wood is that? Or is that just a wood pattern?
No, it's wood. I don't remember exactly which one this is. When I get them, I get 3 or 4 different ones. And then I forget which ones I like. But
they look good.
Come out like that or not.
Perfect.
But each guide's like that. And I believe this to be a 3 weight. It's really, really fast. So, but I think
now the lower the weight, the lighter the rod.
That is correct.
Okay, yeah, and I think Wolfram is right. He says it looks like Buckeye Burl.
I think he's right about that. I get, when I order them, I order several, and then I don't. Kim, I hope you think that Hapalon will work, because it's so forgiving in your hand. It's really soft. It's a little heavier than cork and EVA. EVA and cork is about the same weight, but man, it just feels really, really good in your hand. So I'll be trying that stuff out and see how I like them. But I had Jason that was here and was wanting to know what I want. I said, I can't sell those because I don't know anything about them. He bought them at a yard sale. One of them was supposed to have been a, Gary, what's his name's blank, but it's not. I've built on his blanks many times, and that's not one of his. And so I don't know what they are. They may last forever. They may not last past the first cast. I have no way of knowing because no paperwork or nothing with them. It doesn't tell anything. Yeah, Gary Loomis. One of them was supposed to have been his. Well, I know the red one is not because I never seen any of Gary's stuff that wasn't sanded. And this is the first one is got ridges in it like the old ugly sticks used to be. So it's not been sanded down or anything. Now the other one has been. It's very nice, but it's really fast. I'm thinking it would make a really good trout rod or maybe bluegill, but we'll see. I'll try them out and see how they work, and we'll go from there. But yeah, I had a minute the other day, and I wrapped them up and put some marbling on them. I didn't want to put any feathers or anything. I mean, hell, ain't no sense of putting all that time in them if they're junk and they break first time you take them out, So, but we'll see.
Keep them out of the trees.
Well, I'll give up a blank every once in a while for that.
There you go. Hey, last night on SK's show, Kim was showing off a spinning rod that he had that had wood spun like lathed handles, an old one.
Mm-hmm.
laying around.
Mhm.
Man, that looked pretty cool. I bet you it's heavy, but it looked good. It looked really
I've done
good.
a lot of that for snagging guys.
Yeah.
With snagging guys, the ones that I've done, I've rebuilt theirs and I've built some for them, and most of them want the wood grips because that's how they learned to do it on rods that was manufactured like that back in the good old days. And of course, I have a wood lathe, and you can put them on there, and you can make some pretty good design stuff on those. And you have to get spalted wood and do it. But yeah, I usually them are on solid fiberglass blanks.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, I believe that's what he was saying.
yeah, the one that I do, I didn't. I used heavy tuna sticks
Mm-hmm.
for ocean fishing, and the people that got those, they love them, but they're really stiff, and when they're hitting them big old spoonies, that's what they want, is to lay it on them.
Krill says snagging rods take a beating. They sure do. Over here in Chicago, we got a lagoon called oh man, it's right by the zoo, Lincoln Park Lagoon, right? It's right by the zoo.
Mm-hmm.
And they release salmon there in the spring, and the ones that have been out in the lake for 5 years come back to die.
Mm-hmm.
That lagoon's right next to the zoo, and they got a lot of people walking through there. So rather than just let them sit there rot and stink that whole zoo up, they allow snagging in that one lagoon for 2 weeks. So you see the snaggers out there hooking into them all fall. Well, for 2 weeks in the fall, pretty cool. It's kind of like a subculture here down on the lake. There's so many of them. It's pretty cool. But yeah, they use broomsticks for that all the time.
Yeah. I don't know how that would work out. I would think there wouldn't be much give.
No, I'm just saying that's how stiff the rods are. That
Oh, yeah.
just as a
Cool cues.
yeah.
What is up with Justin's fishing fetish? He says, I'm trying to save up $10,000 to bribe James so I can send my panfish rod to James Dockery so he can touch it and make me a panfish demigod.
Justin, for you, it's 20,000. Sorry, bud.
Oh my God.
Prices you've gone up. Unless you've got Gabby with you, then
You
sorry.
might get it for less. Yeah, Lloydie's
Yeah, you might.
Hey, welcome.
You know, I have a friend of mine who reached out to me actually, like right before the holiday weekend. He says he found his he was cleaning out his grandfather's garage. He'd passed away, and he found a couple of stainless steel ice fishing rods or steel ice fishing rods.
They are stainless. Yeah.
He said he's going to give them to me. Whether or not he comes through with that, that'd be something cool to have.
I've told this before. My dad had 2 fishing rods. One of them was one of the very first Zebco fiberglass rods ever made. It's heavy duty. I think it's one piece. I don't really, or solid. I don't, not 100% sure on that, but it has either a 3 or a 6 Zebco reel on it. The other one is a stainless steel rod, and it has the other being a 3 or a 6. It was before there was 33s and 2 of they was single numbers, and they was from back in the early 50s or maybe before. And my brother has those, so they're pretty cool. I would agree with that statement. Gabby is already a panfish goddess.
This is
Yes,
true.
she is.
Hopefully, she's doing well.
I hope she is. I hope Justin is too.
And by the way, I need to say hi to Sophie and Caitlin. Since
You absolutely do.
Hello,
Yeah.
young ladies.
Absolutely. Double hook angling says grandkids have cane poles. That works.
I got a couple cane poles sitting in there, tucked away in the corner of my garage with a couple of those B&M, what are they, spider rods, the telescoping cane pole.
Yep.
I haven't pulled them out in a while.
the Black Widows.
The Black Widow, that's what it is, James.
Yep. I had 2
Now
of
who's
them.
old? Who's dating herself now?
Katie got mad at me and snapped one of them, so I need to pick up
Over your head or back, shoulders?
No. She said she was just getting it out of the car, but then she came down to the water and she was like, "Hey," she goes, "You know that cane pole you use all the time?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "I just snapped it and turned around and walked off." So I was like, "Okay, it's time to go," because apparently she's mad.
You know, the when I had mentioned that I would never break the tip off of my a rod off in a car door. I just did that 2 weeks ago. I bought one of those Eagle Claw yellow super fine rods like the one that Richard G and the fishing machine uses, because I was walking through Farm and Fleet and I saw it. I'm like, I gotta have one of these, so I bought them, and I had it set up to go try and get some of those big old bullheads to go flathead fishing with, and ended up slamming it in not the car door but the tailgate of my truck. I was like,
I have a cover on our truck, as you guys well know. It's a cover that folds up in 3 pieces, and it just keeps people from getting in the back of your truck and get stuff out of it. And I have built myself several 7-foot light or ultralight rods to catch bluegill with, and you just bend them a little bit and they fit right in the tailgate. Well, I've got 3 of them that's got about 3 or 4 inches broke off of the tip of them, because you go to slam that down, they jump up just about the time that you shut that top down, and it snaps part of the end of them off. And it doesn't ruin them, but it sure changes the action on them. And very disheartened over that.
Hello, Paula. She says she taught her grandson how to make a cane pole a few days ago.
See, that's one of the classes that we teach up here, is cane pole fishing and stuff like that. And you would be surprised at how many people have never used a cane pole. So it's actually quite fun to watch these people learn something new, how to set them up.
I remember a time that's all you got to use when you was a kid.
Yeah.
You do too. You're both old enough to remember that.
I'm just so happy getting a little, like a 2-pound channel cat on a cane pole is a good time. I don't care what anybody says.
Oh, yeah.
That's exactly right. Yes, Chadwick James is still tying.
You want to put it back on all of us so they can actually see?
Excuse me.
He really does, guys. He sometimes...
I got it. We got it. What's going on, Chad Nolte? How you doing, bud? So what color are we making this one, James?
We're going to make a 2-color blue and black one.
I can tie it up something like that. Our good buddy, James Smith, has asked me for some time to tie him up some black and blue ones. So last night I tied
James
up.
Smith fishes?
Yeah. He says these are the hot ones for him out there where he lives, black and blue.
I thought all he did was sell bobbers.
He does sell a lot of bobbers.
He does. That's what he's been busy doing.
Yep. But I tied him up some of them. I'm getting ready to. I got to get his address from him. I'll fire them off to him, and I'll probably throw in some extras for him too. Just cause,
Yep.
Lyle got my attention by saying Chadwick James. I did not say that.
You did?
I didn't, did I?
No.
Okay. I didn't think so. They wish. They wish, don't they, Mark?
So, James, you fishing tomorrow?
I'm not sure yet. I fished up the last couple of days. I've been fishing. It all depends on the weather. If it gets really, really hot and stuff like that, then no, I probably won't go. Katie's still kind of stingy about letting me out in the heat on that, which it's fine.
At 100 degrees, I can understand.
Yeah, it gets pretty bad. But if not, I may just, you know what? I might just actually jump on the side by side, take my flyer rod, and go play in some ponds or something tomorrow. I'm not sure yet. I haven't fished a pond.
That sounds like a lot of fun. You got to take. How often are you getting out there to at least see what's going on by fishing them?
I'll usually go down about once or twice a year.
Okay.
And that's, we'll go down and we'll, right before the ice gets on there, we'll harvest 15, 20 of them a day for a while, just to kind of fill up the freezer and stuff like that, and determine exactly what the game plan is for next year, whether we need to add more brush, whether we need to add more bait, whether we need to add more fish. So,
and you'd mentioned heat. Let me ask your opinion on this. Everybody has a different opinion. Summer crappie, is the meat too soft to be any good?
It depends. It depends on what lake or body of water you're fishing. If it's a shallow water lake, then I'm going to say yeah. because the
It's
heat
too hot.
changes too much, right? But if you can find something that's over 15 feet and you're catching crappie off the bottom, then you'll be all right. But most of the fish I catch are that we bring home are early in the season and stuff like that, or late in the season once the water starts down. Most of the fish we're catching right now, it's all CPR. It's for numbers and something to do. It's sit around and.
What about bluegill? Is their meat affected by the heat? You don't hear too many people talk about that.
It kind of all depends, and actually, the heat does actually affect a lot of these bluegill and stuff like that. A lot of these lakes and stuff like that, if they don't have a quality population of red-eared sunfish in them, then the snails get overpopulated, and and snails are what brings in. I know you guys have all seen those little yellow grubs in the meat of the fish.
Right.
People are horrible about that. Well, that is a parasite that they get from eating snails. So that goes into their system. They work their way through the meat and stuff like that. And they'll die out in the fall once the water gets a lot cooler because they just can't stand that temperature. So if you're going out right now and you're catching, bluegill and stuff like that, you may end up running into some really, really heavily larva bluegill, and it's just really not. It's not appetizing. You flay out a fish and it's got 30 or 40 of those parasites on one fillet. It's like,
you can pick it out, but it's not visually appealing.
They say that you can, okay, but I look down at the meat and it's crawling with those parasites. Guess what, guys?
Yeah,
it's not happening.
Yeah, it's kind of like killing a rabbit in the summertime. They got a wool in their neck, and it's not that there's anything wrong with the meat on that rabbit, but if you've ever seen that, you won't eat it. They're just nasty looking.
Yeah, that's just it. So, and that is, I mean, you can get them, without those parasites and stuff from really good, clean, healthy water and stuff like that with a lot of red-eared sunfish. But for the most part, I'm throwing them all back too. I'm catching them for fun is all I'm doing, or bait.
So what are you chasing to put in the freezer? Are you chasing some drum in the summertime? Because Lyle loves drum.
Lyle does love drum.
I do not.
That's right. We're going to get him.
No, you're not.
Watch. Yes, we will. Even if we have to trick him and take some up there to Mendota and
welcome, Mr.
Jerry cook it up and tell him it's yellow perch.
Yeah, he won't know that.
Yeah, I'll know the difference. I guarantee you.
No, he won't. I guarantee he won't.
Nasty. If our ancestor had thrown them all up on the bank, we wouldn't be dealing with them today.
Yeah, but you are one of the people that I yell at the most.
I know.
When it comes to gar, all right?
I know.
Because you have claimed on multiple times that gar, trash fish, blah, 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 blah. Those are the only thing that are actually, well, besides the sharks that Creo's catching, that are one of the top predators for Asian gar.
Yeah, they are. They've been blue
cats. If you actually want to help control the Asian carp population, you hook into one of those. Don't kill it, guys. Don't snap its beak. Don't throw it up on the bank. Turn it loose back into the water.
Fish and Freedom says, I caught a blue cat last weekend. Was absolutely covered in leech-like little worms. Looked rough.
Yes.
Yeah. I won't eat them either.
Like that. Yeah.
I noticed them a lot. Ice cold water catfish, channel cats. I'll notice those bumps on them.
And here's the thing:
bumps is where them leeches come off, isn't it, James?
What's that?
Them bumps on them is where them.
No, that's actually a totally different parasite.
Okay.
Yeah. And a lot of people have a hard time understanding this, especially people like Lyle and Creole and these guys that are fair weather fishermen that refuse to go out onto the ice. Fish taste totally different when you catch them from underneath the ice. You catch them in really ice cold water, and they are so much more tastier than summer caught fish. I'm just saying.
Even catfish caught in cold weather have a
Cold.
different flavor. They just taste different. Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
good, but they have more of a metallic taste to them a little bit, but they're different and they're good.
Yeah.
That's the only way I can explain it. Whisker Dream says, I am heading to Alaska next week to fish for barn door halibut. There's a dream trip right there.
Yeah, I was going to say that's on the bucket list right there.
Absolutely. I've got an offer to go to Alaska. Some of my friends up there one day. Cindy and I are going to show up there and just show them. Creole says when Lyle finally comes down here, I'm going to cook him all the good stuff and show him the ways of the Kanes. I tell you what we're going to cook up when I go down there is going to be shrimp Creole. Because I know you got shrimp and crawling fish. I know you do.
You know, Creole Laura offered to make me that bacon and cheese biscuit that she posted on my timeline when I get down there. So be warned.
Yeah, I'm too old to stay in tents and stuff like we did when we was younger. So now it's motels. But back 30 years ago, we could have took a bunch of tents down there and filled up Creole's yard.
Oh well.
Mm-hmm. He's got a big yard, too.
I think he does, yeah.
Well, that's why we went and got us a camper. And then gas prices got way too far out of hand. So there's no dragging a camper anywhere.
I'm not going to look at that. I am not going to look at that.
Did you get a message?
Yeah, Josh is being mean to me.
Oh. Frontline Flathead says catching crappie and catfish early from cold water in March and April is so dang good. I don't know
Yeah.
agree with that.
You know, and that's one of the things about Southwest Missouri where Cindy and I live now. It's not that the lakes don't freeze up down here, but it doesn't happen all the time. And we can go out all winter long usually and catch fish. And they're really good. That, you know, unless gas is $4.50 a gallon.
Yeah. See, ours did actually drop just a little bit here the other day. I think like 6 cents. So
okay, Josh. He went and pulled out at the Tonight Show. Hey, Mark, what do you think about pulling up the old giveaway tool?
I can do that if you give me just 1 second and did a ride.
Yeah, we're not in a hurry. I happen to have some ZFG jigs, and I believe I still have some thumper jigs left. Oh, I do have some thumper jigs.
All right. Are we going to do separate entries or are we going to do the same again?
It doesn't matter.
All right. We'll make it easy.
I like easy.
There we go. There we go. We'll share this out. Let the people start get entered. Oh, I did want to bring up when Wolfram Rods was in here, if he's still in here. Man, he's got that one rod that he shows on TikTok. He's got a TikTok account where he shows it off with the carbon fiber. That's a sweet looking ice rod. Holy smokes.
Mm-hmm.
Jig for free. There you go.
That ought to get some attention.
That will. Usually when I'm doing a jig, it's on St. Patrick's Day and it's for a drink.
You're jigging for drinks.
nobody wants to see you dance, Mark. Stop that. Not even Sheila. Those days are long gone.
Whisker Dream says, I would love a jig or two of Mr. Dockery's to try here in VA. Has Tom made it in? I see Maurice from LG Bass. There's Phil. I know she's in here.
And there's Mr. Parker. What's going on, John? Cody's getting in on the drawing. There's two Stans. What's going on, Stan? Look, lady,
Hey,
how you doing? There's Tom. What's up, Tom? Maurice, what's up?
Outdoor Dixon. Hey Jesse, how you doing?
What's going on, Jesse?
Two Stan says it's awesome to see James. Hello, hello.
Speak for yourself, Stan.
Stan, if you got the message, he sent me a message today with a basket full of crappie, and
That was yesterday.
it was today too.
Well, yeah, and today too.
Yeah, because he knows it's too hot for me to go out.
Matt
It's
is
really hot, but it is.
Matt's watching something else, getting his giveaways mixed up.
Want to be outdoors. Number 7 weight fly rod. No, sir. I have started on an 8 weight though.
Hey, there's our buddy Chewy from Old Carver Fishing Podcast.
Chewy, how's it going, buddy? Glad to see you in here.
Bud?
Chewy, I'll message you tomorrow. I'm going to get Chewy on my show in the next couple of weeks as soon as he has it.
Me and Katie actually thought about driving up there here a while back to get one of Luke's hats because they said that it's the only place that you can buy them, and I was like, it's only a 5.5 hour drive, and then that next 2 days gas went up $15, and it was like, I like Luke's hat and all, but that's going to have to wait.
Did you see this, James?
Oh, I saw it.
Okay.
Whose is that?
That's Luke's.
That's Luke's.
I thought it was, but maybe somebody else had come up with one.
So actually, no, it's funny you mention that because he mentioned that they have fishing leagues on the weekends up there out of the bait shop.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking that would be a cool time to go up there, and I know you don't have a chance, not you, but I don't have a chance to win one of those because I don't fish the waters. But it'd be hell fun to go up there and take part in one. That ain't no joke.
Oh, it would be fun.
Wait, Mark, have you ever won an online tournament?
Not yet. The 23rd. Watch.
Okay. Well, I just this sitting here just reminded me. I just
I'm too tired. I've had too long a day to boot you, James. So.
Hey, there's Betty. Welcome.
Hey.
Late night work. Didn't miss much.
No, you didn't miss much. And that right there is still why Brandon Cross is the best cross there is.
Matt wants to know if you're ever. Oh no, Barker wants to know if you're ever coming down this way.
Yeah, but I'm not going to tell him or Josh or anything.
I'd like to.
No,
the gas wasn't $20 a
There's
gallon.
other things I'd like to do down there, and hanging out with those two idiots is not one of them.
Yes, the old Carver Catfish League, which Luke stands in last place.
Ouch! Ouch! That's.
I
not
thought he
cool.
said he was in the lead last weekend.
I don't know. I didn't hear.
Thank you, Cody. I appreciate you, my friend.
That should be a lot of fun. Yeah, if there was something around here to do that, but
Since Betty's here, hey, if you want to win some jigs, Betty, enter in hashtag jig for free.
Super Fat Boy Smurf Fishing. Not gonna happen. Bacon.
Look at this. Whiskey Dream says, I've been silent on the 23rd tournament mark, but I am fishing Kerr Reservoir if that gives you the chills. I don't know. I'm a little worried about that James River. Those guys can walk on the backs of those catfish there. Boy, that upsets them when I say that.
Yeah, but isn't that the same way with Fox River and flatheads?
No.
I don't know. I see an awful lot of flathead pictures from people coming out with that Fox River up there.
A select few.
There's a couple of guys that do pretty good up there. I don't see that much coming from there like I used to for some reason.
Well, I think a lot of them guys moved it over to Instagram. I've been seeing some posts up there. I've been seeing a couple of guys obviously Jonathan and Netman Tony's been posting some good ones. Also Brandon Ishkar, he got on a good one the other night. And I'm thinking it's mid-spawn, but obviously Luke explained last night on Old Carver Fishing Podcast, which is why you should at least watch that one from last night, how he believes and he pretty much knows that the flathead will spawn a week or two at a time, and they kind of stagger their spawn. So you may think it lasts 3 to 4 weeks, but it doesn't mean you can't get on them. And between what I hear from him and what I heard from a conversation with another guy who I really respect here on the Fox, I tend to believe them to be absolutely right. So.
Oh, so Quiet Man Curtis's brother. Cool. Welcome.
What's up, Eric? That's Fat Boy Eric.
Apparently, Eric off. He changed his name.
Yeah, apparently when he was a young tyke, he used to dress up like a Smurf and put a cape on and jump off of furnitures and stuff. And
sweet.
I think Chad gave him that name.
Old Carver Fishing Podcast said he did win. I have been hearing about it for the past 2 weeks. I'll bet so.
I can imagine. 922 Crappie Barbecue. What's up, bud?
Oh, my.
All right, last chance to get in for some jigs.
Absolutely.
So you got any plans to go to get are you doing any pre-fishing for your tournament, Lyle?
Not till this 100-degree weather leaves.
Well, don't hold your breath.
No, we got cooler weather coming in from now. Granted, they're only saying 10 or 15, maybe 20 degrees, but I'll take it. It's only supposed to be in the low 90s. And,
is it a daytime tournament or an evening tournament?
Yeah.
It is daytime?
Yeah. Yippers.
How about you, James? You getting out tomorrow?
No. Like I said, if I do, it'll just be in the side by side. I'll take my fly rod and go out and see what I can catch in the ponds and stuff like that.
It's almost 9 o'clock here, and it's still 88 degrees.
Yeah, it heated up here too. We had storms all this morning, and it felt pretty decent. Once they rolled out, the wall of water hit, and that was pretty much the end of me going outdoors for a while. So
yeah, we've got a couple of days with high temperatures, but for the most part, I'm looking at high 80s and low 90s for highs and 60s and low 70s for the lows for the next 10 days. So we might try to get out and do some stuff. Because, this, like I say, it's so friggin' hot right now. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah,
91. It's 77 degrees here, Lyle.
77.
Perfect for night fishing.
It would be, yeah. Hopefully it'll cool down some the next couple of weeks. I hope so too, Chadwick. I really do.
Chad's taking a liking to night fishing.
Yeah, he is. Dave, are you in Oklahoma? Is that right? I think you are, but I'm not 100% sure. Greer's Ferry Lake in Arkansas. Start driving now. No, I know where Greer's Ferry Lake is, and there's some great big flathead in that lake. There sure is. I used to drive down there all the time. It's a beautiful area too.
Mark Pull, Kansas.
What did he say?
I don't know, but he did say he's in Kansas. Is that the name of a town, Markpole? Or is he talking to me?
I don't know. But Kansas. I couldn't remember if he's in Oklahoma or Kansas. I thought it was Oklahoma for some reason, but we said we'd give away one of them jig things.
All right, you ready?
Yeah, let's give away the ZFGs first.
ZFGs first. Made with tender love and care.
That's correct.
Let's see who's going to win this one. Round and round it goes. Oh, Van over at V3 Customs. Congratulations, Van.
Hey, Van. Message me your shipping address, buddy. And I'll get these babies shipped right out to you. And the other set is from Thumper Jigs.
Let me know you want me to do the drawing for that one. We'll just use the same pool of names so the people don't have to re-enter.
Yeah, these here's an image of them. They are orange.
Let me see.
Orange and silver, just jig heads. They got custom paints, all of them. Looks to be like a number 4 sickle hook on those. Package of 3. Pretty nice stuff. They send us a bunch of it to give away, and it's just really good stuff. and they sell them all the time. You can contact them at 217-638-3474, and they got a wide selection of stuff. So
They're down around Mark Twain, aren't they?
yes,
Okay, that's what I thought.
they are that. I
Are
know.
we ready
That,
to draw for those, Lyle?
sure.
All right, let her rip. Jesse,
All right, guys.
Yes.
Congratulations, Jesse. I think he knows how to get in touch with you, doesn't he, Lyle?
I think he does. I just write his name down on here so I know who gets what.
Lyle, so what's in your backdrop there? I noticed that right off the bat.
Some kind of panfish. It's a little bitty 3-4 inch thing. Roger was talking about that one night, and I looked it up, or he sent me the image, and I saved it. That's just a cool looking fish. I really like it. I want to tell you guys, if you haven't checked out whoops, wrong thing here. I contacted a guy. Dang. Hang on. We have a guest coming up the 14th, and he has a YouTube channel called Online Outdoorsman. Very knowledgeable guy, catches a lot of bluegill. He was on a quest for a long time to catch 10-inch bluegills everywhere he went. And red side minnow, that sounds right. And he did catch some 10-inch bluegills. A 10-inch bluegill is a giant.
Giant. Yep.
Yeah, just does. And he caught some, but he went all the time trying to get one, and sometimes he made it and sometimes he didn't. But it never deterred him from going after and doing what he did. Very nice guy. I messaged with him quite a bit. He's going to be our guest next week. And I sent James a link to another guy that I'm trying to get a hold of. This guy is a marine biologist, among other things. And you talk about a guy that has a wealth of knowledge about telling the difference between a long-eared sunfish and a green sunfish and a pumpkin seed. And holy crap, I'm hoping that we can get him on there because he knows things about fish that I was shocked to find out about it. I've been binge watching stuff on his channel. I'll get that all stuff wrote down for next week. But if we can get him on here, you'd be surprised at the differences in fish that I thought I was calling fish correct names, and in reality, I was not.
Yep.
I think I was watching that video when you sent the link out.
Yeah, it pretty interesting. So I know that he does a lot of other stuff, and he too fishes, and he has a really good video out about drop shot rigs, which is one of my favorite rigs. And Maurice says that's a darter. That sounds right.
That does sound right.
Yeah. And the angle of your line versus the distance you cast. I'll try to get that stuff and link it to Panfish Nation's group page so everybody can watch some of those videos, because I never realized. I knew that there was a difference, but he's got ratios, and he actually has a formula which you can put in the distance you're casting, the weight you're using, whether you're standing on a bank or in a boat, and all kinds of different things. And it'll tell you when you cast out there how far your bait actually is off the bottom. It's a really good video. It's long, but it's well worth the watch. So,
yeah, you were talking about that guy that he wants to catch those 10-inch bluegill everywhere. That's just it. I mean, we all should be trying something that scares the living hell out of us. I mean, maybe you'll make it, maybe you won't. But you know what? Going to the exact same spot and fishing for the exact same fish day in and day out, that's just boring. I mean, like I said, I have traveled all over Northeast Missouri. I've even traveled down by Lyle and stuff like that. I don't want to catch the same fish over and over again. I mean,
You
these
give them
have
sore
some of these.
mouths.
What's that?
You give them sore mouths.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, some of these guys that are fishing these same spots, hell, they've got the fish named by now.
That's
I mean, come on.
true. The program that you have a lot of awards from Missouri, Master Angler Awards.
Yes, sir.
I think that it's not about winning the award. It's about making sure that you can do it. And on the Missouri Department of Conservation website, you can download all the information, and there's a sheet on there for every breed of fish that's in the state of Missouri and what size that fish has to be to qualify for a Master Angler Award. And I knew about it, but never was really interested until James was telling me about him and his kids and how many of them that they got. And I printed that stuff out, and I've got it out in the garage. I have it in here somewhere, and they're not out of reach. Those numbers.
No, they're not. And here's the thing about those. I mean, it actually is on the honor system. I mean, you can measure it and send a picture with it and stuff like that, and they'll send you a certificate with you holding the fish and all that stuff. And I know guys that will kind of fudge it just a little bit, just so they can get that little piece of paper. But what's the point in that?
Yeah,
I mean, go after these fish. Some of you guys know. I mean, and Mark especially knows. All the information he gave me was wrong, but I mean, going after yellow perch, and I struggled to find yellow perch. I did. I struggled to find yellow perch.
But you have them.
But we have them, and this year I finally, I forgot everything that people told me, and I thought, all right, I'm just going to do this the old-fashioned way, and I did. I read up on everything. I watched, some documentaries about them and different shows and stuff like that to get to know the swimming habits and the patterns of them and stuff like that. And I started catching them, and I started catching a lot of them. And I got my first Master Angler Award for a yellow perch this year. And that's my goal. I will go after. I'm not one species fisherman. I mean, yes, I like to catfish. Yes, I love crappie fishing and pan or bluegill fishing. But those little odd fish that nobody ever thinks about going after, a log perch, a quillback, all of these different types of fish out there. Again, why limit yourself to one spot or one fish? If you're a true fisherman, wouldn't you want to go after multiple species and show these people that I can catch all these fish and I don't have to rely on chicken in order to catch a bait or catch fish with? So
take all them quillbacks you can catch.
Oh yeah, quillbacks, buffalo. Yeah, they all put up a hell of a fight. So
I know a guy that fishes tournaments up on the Mississippi River around Clarksville. That's all he uses for baits, quillbacks. If he ain't got a quillback, he stays home. He won't go.
Yep. Well, that's like a lot of these guys. All they want to use is skipjack. Some guys now, all they want to use is Asian carp, man. I mean, granted, Asian carp are easy to get. I mean, you can go out and throw a cast net and catch 50,000 of the damn things.
Yeah. There's a guy right there that catches a lot of multi-species stuff, walks up and down the creek and catches everything in it. Jerry Parker. And if you haven't checked out Jerry's Parker Pursuit YouTube channel, you need to do that because there's a lot of quality information on his stuff.
We were talking earlier about, what size baits and stuff like that I use. I actually cannot wait to try these out. These are the Crappie Zilla 1-inch little tadpole things.
Yeah, I got some of them.
Is
that what they are, tadpoles? You know what they look like, right?
Well, yeah. And they look like a tadpole.
Lyle.
This is what happens when Lyle drinks before the show, guys. I'm sorry. I have to apologize. But yeah, I'm going to start using those. I want to get some of those on a small little fly hook and see what I can get on a fly rod with them.
We was talking about that yesterday, I think, and I think that they'll work.
Oh yeah, I think so too.
Now, I think that, and this is just my opinion, a small, really small hook, if you had like a number 20 or something like that, and nose hook them.
Yeah, yeah. I've got some 16s and 14s and stuff like that I'm going to try.
That'll work
I'm
too.
just I'm actually going to glue them together or glue them on there so that they actually stay on there a little bit longer. So
I just nose hook on. I have some 28s.
that's a little tiny. You can't even see that. Your eyes are that
You
bad.
guys are, that's way too small for me to want
Well,
to.
they're for fly tying, but that's not what I use them for. I have another use for them.
Yeah.
I got some 12s that I might use to get on some shiners that I found in a spot over here, but a little chunk of nightcrawler, but that's as small as I go. And the ice fishing stuff tortures me enough in the winter trying to tie those darn hooks on.
Oh, they get so small. You're trying to get them little bitty lines to go through them little bitty eyes, and that line is so flimsy it blows around every place. So yeah, they're just a pain in the butt. But yeah, carp are fun to catch. They really are. Does glue mess up the plastics, James?
If you're fishing right, I mean, I'm adding a small drop of super glue to them, and I'm doing this while I'm out there. So I really don't know if it does or not, but they still catches fish.
Yeah, they don't. I don't think it hurts them at
Holds it
all.
on that hook a little bit.
Yeah, I put some on hooks and stuff to put plastics on it because I'm not a big plastic kind of guy. I've got a bunch to try out as soon as the weather cools off a little bit, and I'm excited about trying them out. I've got some Crappie Zillas and some Little Miss Bacon baits and some other stuff that people have sent me. I got some from Jason Brummel, and I'm going to try these out, but I'll be taking hand ties because I know they will catch fish. There's no doubt about it. And let's face it, a high percentage of the fish you catch are what you're confident in.
See, and that's just it. We can all sit here and say, "Oh, this is the best bait and best bait and best bait." If you are, confident in a bait that works on your body of water, and you can, hook into tons of fish, use it.
Do it. Yeah, that's exactly right.
You might take an afternoon and try something that, one of the many superstar YouTube folks have told you to do and try it in your body of water. If it don't work, well, then go back to what you normally do. There's no reason to beat yourself up over, like I did on them stupid yellow perch.
I'm convinced that I can catch bluegill with hand ties. And the small ones work really, really good. Them little bugs on a fly rod, they're deadly. They are deadly.
Yeah.
But right now, I think as hot as it is, I'm going to guess that a lot of the bluegill and stuff are probably deeper than they have been. Because
I've seen them both. I think the thermocline is really messing up a lot of the fish right now, the panfish and stuff right now. So you're either going to have to go below it or above it to get these fish. I'm still seeing some okay sized bluegill smack the top water bugs and stuff like that. So I don't know. I'm
a lot of that too.
Yeah, next time I go out,
the water too. Last
right,
week.
and next time I go out, I'm just going to take my fly rod and I'm just going to leave everything else at the house and see what I can get on.
I am finding them hiding in them weed beds. They're in the shade.
Yeah.
So they're trying to stay cool, but you can get them to come out just by pulling that bait, whatever you got right along that edge, and you can coax them out.
Yeah, I gotta find the weeds around here. That'll be the issue. James, I can't thank you enough for coming on the show tonight and helping us straighten out some problems with people catching fish, and me and everybody else enjoyed you being on here. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you inviting me on here. I don't mind helping out. You know that.
We got
thankfully, I was in a decent mood today and didn't go off on too many people. So,
kind of rare, but it's okay.
I know. I mean, I did get to fish today and stuff like that. So,
did you have ice cream today, James?
What's that?
Did you have ice cream today?
Actually, I did.
See, that usually
might be something to that. Yeah, might be something to that. Well, we appreciate you helping us out, and everything with you is always very informative. We had a great time and a lot of fun, and And thank you so much for doing that. And I know I'll be talking to you tonight, tomorrow. No telling how long. So
Probably.
you wanna pass anything along before we close out tonight?
Get out and fish. Leave
There you
your
go.
leave your cell phone shut off. No one wants to see you fish for 15 hours and catch one fish. All right. Leave it at home. Go out and actually enjoy it. Don't try to impress anybody. No one actually cares. They're showing up in chat for the chat anyway to socialize with other people.
That's
So
right. That's right.
I got Keith Robinson on my show Monday night, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, fishing stuff. Check it out. I'd love to see you guys show up to that.
Keith had a new video come out tonight where he's cleaning his garage and organizing. It's a great video. If you get a chance, go check him out. Fishing and stuff. He's one of the all-time great YouTubers that ever was. Does it for the right reasons. He's a super nice guy. So check him out. You'll be glad you did. Have a great guest next week. Be sure to tune in for that, Online Fisherman.
One last thing, guys. Make sure you unsub James Dockery Fishing.
Too
The
late.
dude's a dick. He's not going to be putting up videos. You're just wasting space on your YouTube thing.
Oh, James, you're a hoot, man. Thanks so much for being on here. Mark, glad everything turned out good for you today. Thanks, everybody, for watching. And we'll see you all next Thursday night right after the bait show.